Hey there everybody, it's Nathan Cool with NathanCoolPhoto.com, and in this tutorial I wanted to show you how to light a very simple bathroom that encounters one of the most common obstacles. That's your flash being shown somewhere in the picture. So if you're shooting just ambient, you're shooting HDR, you usually don't see this type of thing, but you're also not going to get usually the correct colors. That's why I like to use flash, because especially when you're talking about bathrooms, even though you want to get through, it's a simple bathroom, you don't want to spend a lot of time with it, does need to be flashed if you're really going to get true colors inside there. But one of the things you'll have is you grab your flash, you're just doing real quick, you grab your speed light, you shoot maybe an ambient shot, and then you shoot your flash shot, you hold it up toward the ceiling, that's fine, but then that flash tends to show somewhere in the picture, either you in the door frame, or else you get a real big hot spot on the ceiling. Well, there's a real simple fix for this, so this is a very short tutorial to show how to fix that problem with just a little preparation on site. You ready to take a look? This is how it's done. So here we're taking a look at the ambient shot. It's a very simple bathroom, nothing real fancy, but you can see here that there's somewhat of a green wall. It's not really showing up very well. There's a lot of orange that's showing up, and this is very typical because of these very warm lights, which of course are very blown out, to be able to try to get an ambient shot. So of course we want to blend some of this with flash, so we take a flash shot, and sure enough, we've got this big hot spot showing up here on the ceiling. You can kind of see where the doorway was, and I'm flashing inside there, but no matter what you do inside these tight bathrooms, there's just really no way to get around having that hot spot. Now, I could probably try to get real fancy and walk into here and shoot another one over in the corner and blend those together, but to do this real quick and get in and out as fast as possible and to still light this very well, then what you do, it's very simple. You just take your flash and point it toward the floor. And then you flash it like that. And when you do that, then you're going to get some light bouncing back up into that area where you can then work on those hot spots. Now, it doesn't always give you the right color. If you've got a very dark floor, it might be a little bit off, but usually with auto white balance, it'll correct itself, and you can tweak that a little bit in post, but it's very quick. You've now got a very fast repair layer. So you just shoot off an ambient shot, then boom, adjust it for your flash shot. You can see that this a couple stops different, and that's how I was able to get the lights in there. And then just go ahead and jack the power up a little bit more and flash the floor. So when we blend those all together, this is what we would do. Now, this is going to be very similar to all the other editing that I show throughout my interior book and also through the advanced editing book as well. So I'm just going to grab all three of those, and then you can right click and go edit in, open as layers in Photoshop. And there's shortcuts to do that, which I show throughout my books as well, which in this case would have been Alt-P-E-O-O to get there. But anyways, we've got these pictures loading up into Photoshop, and the first thing that we'll want to do is just repair that hot spot. So that's easy enough. We'll just go ahead and shut off our ambient layer, and we'll take that repair shot where we flash the floor, bring it up above the base layer, which was our flash shot, and I'm just going to go at it a hide all layer mask. So layer, mask, and then hide all. Grab a brush and use about a 10% flow. You can see up here it's 10% flow. It's most of my common flow that you'll see me use throughout the videos. Use that and then just start brushing in to fix that area. Now, since it's the same exposure as what we used before when we were shooting the base flash layer, I don't have to worry about overlapping, hitting the lights or anything else like that. If I had tried to chimp in some type of ambient shot to fix that, I wouldn't have been able to get this kind of overlap. I'd be really up against those lights. It'd be more problematic. So anyways, now we just go ahead and blend in our ambient. So I've shown actions and presets to do this very quick, but for those not familiar with it, you change the layer mode to luminosity. That gets rid of the color. Now I've got some very nice looking color. We don't want all that in there, so layer, mask, hide. Take a brush, 10% flow, and then brush in some of that ambient to make it look just a little bit more natural. Okay, there was definitely more light coming in here off those curtains, so we go ahead and do that. There's more light coming in here too from a window that was back there. Make sure that that reflects as well in the mirror. And that's kind of then how that would work. And that's all that we do. And then we just go ahead and take this and go to Layer, Flatten Image. And we save it. And like we normally do with any of the rest of the workflow, it comes back in the Lightroom. And we can add one of the presets that I show throughout the books. And we add a little bit to it. This needs a little bit more whites into it, so we'll jack that up a little bit, not so much in the way of blacks. And there you have it. And that's how you go from having a problematic shot where the ambient just wouldn't cut it. So we definitely want to do the flash ambient blend, but when we do the flash, we get our hot spot up here. So we flash the floor to get our repair layer, and when you put it all together, you have this. I told you that would be a very short tutorial. It's a very simple trick. You can do it for a lot of different bathrooms. So when in doubt, you've got some hot spots, just real quick, usually about a stop up on that flash, hitting the floor is good. Now, when I'm using a speed light, I usually use for bathrooms, they have a lot of white in them usually, unless they're a very dark bathroom. And I've got some tutorials I can show you on some very dark cave-like bathrooms that I've had to shoot, as well as some dark rooms, and I can cover that. But most bathrooms will have bright colors around them, usually white tile and things like that. So light reflects a lot. So if you're using ISO 320, and let's say f6.3, one of my common settings, you'll use about, maybe let's say on your ambient shot, 1/8 of a second, 1/10 of a second. But when you're flashing, you'll want to get to about a 40th of a second, 50th of a second to start knocking out that ambient light. And then on your flash power, I tend to use about an 1/8 power, sometimes a 1/4, sometimes I'll do both. And one of the reasons I don't use a Cam Ranger, if you've seen in some of my books, is I'll just click off a shot, 1/4 power, poof, 1/8 power, poof, and then move on. But let's say that you're shooting at an 1/8 power in the bathroom. Sometimes it's also as low as a 1/16. But let's say it's an 1/8 of a power. Then I just go ahead and crank it up to a 1/4, flash the floor, and be done with it. And then I can move on to the next room. So it's a very simple fix, very quick thing you can do while you're on site. And then the post-processing, as you see, makes life very simple, very easy to just get that shot processed and done. Anyways, I hope this video was useful for you and that you can use some of this in your photography as well. If you did like this video, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. It won't cost you anything, and as soon as one of these videos is posted, you'll be the first to know. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, take care, be safe, and get out there and shoot something.